Z of fencing, somewhat casual. Does my buckler look big in this? B is for buckler. Buckler, not necessarily my favourite offhand device. I like to be able to stab you with something in either hand, but it definitely is fun, and it's interesting within the SCA more so than in HEMA or anything else, because it's pretty much the one named weapon in the SCA that's used in both rapier fencing, cut and thrust fencing, and in armour, albeit used very differently in those different styles. So this is more the fencing video, so there is a size limit. It can be as small as about this, if you get one of those little biker gauntlet things. The normal size is about this. Historically they'd go up, we'd get Targes and Rotellas and those kind of things. If you're in SCA fencing, of course, their maximum size, which is 20 inches. So pretty much everything is done with this size, unless you're using it in armoured combat, obviously. So they're used very differently in these three forms. The original design, normally in HEMA, historically, you're protecting against cuts, and in cut and thrust you use it to protect against cuts. And also, historically, you'd be punching people in the face with it, because it's a fairly useful weapon, especially the edge. Obviously we can't do that in any of our forms, but we use it differently in different ways. So for cut and thrust, we'd be using it fairly similar to how you would in HEMA. So for example, if you're doing side sword and buckler, you can use one of various different styles. If you're, I'd say cut and thrust, if you're taking your cue from, say, Manciolino, you can have any of your Manciolino guards here, whether, whichever form, because you have cuts coming in, and you can have your hand defending, you can have your cuts coming in, you're defending against cuts. And shortly we'll get Leslie in and doing profile where the blades go. Okay. In normal rapier fencing, or heavy blade rapier fencing as they call it in the SCA, it's a little bit different, because there's not cuts to worry about. So out here, as you'll see shortly, it's not as wide a cone of defence against the thrust as it is against the cut. So if we turn it this way, okay, against the cut, nice cone of defence. Against the thrust, not so much. Okay? You can use, if you're doing heavy rapier fencing, you can use whichever style you like. Obviously you can still fence with it using your Bolognese style or your Manciolino style, whichever style you prefer. There is no correct style, in my opinion, for things like this. The correct style is the style that works for you, that works best for you. The only way you should be able to say a named style is the best or is done correctly is if you're specifically trying to do, say, Manciolino's style, and then, from his manual, and then either you're doing it correctly or you're not, but the best, correct, right style for you is the one that works best for you. So for example, I'll sometimes fight like this. And normally this comes from something like, Fabrice and so on, where you'd have much more of a lean forward, and that protects the face, intending that blade deflect up across and away from the face. If you've seen me fence an event, you'll see I sometimes use, the katanas or whatever, no handguard, so I'll do this. as a handguard. You can absolutely go I3-3 style, although again, I3-3 is more of a cutting art, or at least designed to have cuts and thrust, so it's probably better used in cut and thrust, or indeed in heavy. What buckler does in different circumstances is, if it's out here, then protecting against thrusts, it's not that great when you're using it there. So, if you place the blade sort of just on the edge, so it doesn't protect that far unless I'm further down. Obviously, the closer you are to the hilt, then the further away you push something. Yeah. On the other hand, if it's against a cut, so if somebody's trying to make a cut, then if I turn it around to this angle, you can see you much more got that. If you circumscribe it around the shield, around the buckler, you've got a wide cone of defence, and it's a less wide cone of defence against thrusts, for obvious reasons, in this position. On the other hand, so that makes it useful for against cuts and cut and thrust. If it's in normal rapier fencing, you might want to do something different. So, for example, you can use it as a wider equivalent of your offhand, and push the blade wherever, or parry with a sword and clear to get in. Or, for example, as I spoke about earlier, I sometimes will cover my hand here, because then, of course, I'd be parrying with a sword down here, and if an attack is thrust is coming in upwards, or above, rather, there. Then, it gently slides it away. As I also said, it's the only weapon really that we also use in armoured combat, so if you swap for a stick. So, once again, the armoured combat, we're replicating essentially a cutting attack. So I'd want to have the buckler further out. I don't necessarily need it to prevent anything from hitting me, because just getting that enough energy out of it. Yeah, I'll go for an offside. So just taking enough energy out of it means even if it then hits me, it's light, because some of that kinetic energy has been taken away. However, in cut and thrust it's a different matter, because we are not trying to apply blunt force trauma to a specific level to be called good. So there, if the same thing happened, it would still be good, because it would still be a nice percussive cut.
Like
in cut and thrust, if the same thing happens,
where? Head?
Shoulder or something. Right, so, okay, say I've caught it here, but enough of it comes in, it's still going to be good. So, I'm going to be using it slightly differently in cut and thrust, because I'm going to be much more active with it than in heavy, necessarily.
Do that again?
Yeah.
So, shoulder and push
So, yeah,
out
and I still want to step in.
Yeah.
In heavy, I'm much more likely to try and use it essentially at more of a distance. Although, be careful, if you are using a buckler in heavy, one thing to do,
Stick again?
or to not do, is, okay, look at my arm here.
Yeah, hang on.
You're trying to go for that arm. Okay, that's
Okay.
right. Because my arm's pretty straight. So, but what you don't want to do is this, because then you can get a wrap right here on the elbow.
Ooh, nice.
And it will nicely go around
Ouch.
the buckler. So be careful not to let that, if you sort of want to see it in this angle, essentially,
Do you want me to stand there?
no, it's okay.
Okay.
Essentially, don't do this. Alright.
Would you like to?
Most people, if they start using buckler in armoured, of course, one of the simplest things to do is basically track the hand. So wherever the hand goes, and then even if the shot gets through, it's still having some of the energy taken out. It's going to be fine. But then you'll advance and find other techniques and use it more in concert with a stick or whatever.
Do you want to?
There are all these different ways of using that buckler. And as I said earlier, basically, there is no one correct way. This is not necessarily the correct way. This is not necessarily the correct way. This is not necessarily the correct way. The correct way is whatever mixture works for you and the weapon that you're using. Simple in that sense, but so complicated once you start trying to work on every technique to blend together, which you will. You will have.
Captain Wolfram, I thought maybe B actually
question.
stood. Yes, didn't B actually stand for bolognese? Do you want to show us a bit of bolognese sword work? You're not getting bolognese to eat because I haven't bought any.
Bolognese. Well, bolognese.
Bolognese?
Well, you want the sort of the garbs. Okay, if you want to do Manciolino's garbs, I forget the names of them. They're developed from, obviously, they flow in a development from other weapons, from long swords and so on, and then the side sword evolves into the rapier. But you have a lot of familiar guards. So where with a long sword you'd have, a guard up here or up here, with Manciolino we have this, yeah, and then we have the head guard, and we have the face guard, yeah, and so on and so forth. We have a couple of different iron gate guards. So we have the narrow iron gate, we have the wide iron gate, we have the bore iron gate, or bore comes through the iron gate or something weird like that. I don't speak Italian, somebody else can do that one. You also of course have this guard, and so on. That's the ones I can remember off the top of my head. So for example, from here, as a starting move, okay, well I have a cut, and then I'm into this guard. And then from here, well, this can go pretty much anywhere. You can cut, this cut. Once you get in to trying to cross over, then things get a bit trickier. Oh, wait a minute.
Time to come back today.
Okay, we are not garbed up, so no fighting.
I know.
What is it you want to do?
I was just going to use them. I'll make an attack and you use your bolognese guards to defend against
let's
it,
just
slowly.
Let's just yeah. Okay. Let's show a couple of examples of where blades would go. We're not actually fighting. We're just going to place these things. So we'll do the equivalent for regular fencing and cut and thrust. So for example, if we're doing regular heavy blade fencing.
What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to aim? Slowly,
just very slowly aim wherever you aim.
Where do you think I'd aim?
Well, so there I have a boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit higher up.
A little bit higher up.
Oh, nice. Do you want to do that again?
Or I could do something.
So aim for your belly, really.
Aim for my belly?
I was going to say no.
Yeah.
Aim for your belly. Okay.
Huh?
I'm not going to aim for your face. I've got no mask on. Anywhere else?
Or I could do a different style. So if we're still fighting regular fencing.
Straight down the line.
So, yeah. Or if you're going for a headshot here.
Head. My footwork was awful there. Sorry.
Boom.
Can you do that again? Straight.
I don't think her feet are in shot. Wait.
Pardon. Okay, head.
Head.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the other hand, if it's cut and thrust,
Hmm.
I'm probably going to do more of the Manciolino style.
Where? Head.
Anywhere you like.
Anywhere. Middle.
And you got me leg.
I got your leg.
Okay, I'm not fast enough.
I'll go slower. So I went too fast. I keep saying about heavy slow work. That was entirely my fault.
Or actually, oh no, this would be for cut and thrust, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that was my fault. I went too fast. I'll do that again.
So if this is for cut
Very
and thrust,
slowly. I'm going to your
gonna
middle.
catch you here.
Ooh.
Boom.
Ah, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Legs? This time you caught me.
Boom.
Yep.
Or actually, if you're going to go for a leg shot, to be honest, I'm left leg forward here. So if you're going to go for that leg shot, I'm not even going to.
No, you don't need it.
Boom. Yeah. I'll just take that leg away, and as I come back, where your point is,
I need to
the
get
buckler
daggers.
is, and then I just step forward
I need
again.
to get daggers. I've got no.
We'll do that in a different way.
Okay. D is for dagger.
Possibly. So then if you're going to be making a cut over on this side somewhere, okay, then I can do the replace.
So I got a dagger.
Yeah?
So if I've got an offhand weapon, I've got a shot.
And-
But
And the other one, of course, if I was using my katana, for example.
do you want a katana?
No, it's okay.
No.
Possibly I'd fight I-33 style or something like that, which absolutely can do. Actually, okay, if I want to fight I-33 style, cut and thrust,
Where do you want me to go?
just try and stab me in the middle, basically.
That is ICT. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. That's very sloppy because I don't actually study that one. But, you know.
This is how you're doing it.
Yeah, but not very neatly.
Okay.
And normally I'd do that with something like an arming sword or a katana, or not with a blaster. So anyway, hopefully that might get you thinking about bucklers, because they are kind of cool. There are, oh yeah, as they say on the Beeb, other forms of rigid parry device are available, but not necessarily as versatile. They all have their pros and cons. The con for the yeah. Do you want that? You get your sword again? The con for
Rapier
the buckler.
or heavy?
Rapier. The con for the buckler is essentially either against lefties.
Good as that.
Or taking a step that way.
But one left. Where do you
Yeah,
want it to
so
go?
essentially what you want to do is try and get inside the buckler.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll tell you what I'll do. Swap hands. It's only fair we warn you about some of the evil things that other people will do. Especially Kernak, who teaches a great class on the very subject of stabbing people who've got bucklers.
Right.
Which I don't.
What am I doing?
But you know how I mentioned Gigante the other day? And Gigante likes his stepping across here, this way, this sort of diagonally. So if you've got your buckler there,
Yep.
what I can actually do,
Oh,
inside.
okay. Nothing I could do.
but
Uh-huh.
there's a more evil version, which is, I think, Kernight's evil version, which is I'm starting to go this way.
Yeah.
So basically the moral of the story is try and get inside the buckler if you're facing somebody else who's got one. Daggers are great for that. Maybe we'll do those for D.
D
Who
for
knows?
daggers.
But that's it for bucklers for the moment. And hopefully it might encourage you to experiment